Welcome back. I'm here now with Gordon Chang. We just spoke with House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, and China says it is sending a special envoy on Middle Eastern affairs to the region to conduct mediation efforts, they claim. Beijing condemning the attacks earlier this week, now having to rely more on Russian oil due to massive supply disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. China buys up to 80% of Iranian oil. Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that China is now accelerating production of submarines to attack the United States. Closer to home, writing, quote, China has been developing new submarine technology and a bigger, better fleet that is gaining on the United States and its allies, spurring a new undersea arms race in the Pacific. These subs that can strike U.S. from closer to home, the U.S. Navy is warning. Joining me now is Gatestone Institute senior fellow Gordon Chang. Gordon, that is some statement that the Navy has warned us about.
Yes. You know, the Chinese, they don't actually need better submarines. All they need to do is stay close to their shores in what they call the bastion areas, like the Yellow Sea. But obviously, they do want subs to be able to get closer to the U.S. And by the way, we have Chinese submarines in the Arctic, which would be very, very close to Alaska and the homeland. So this is really an important development. And we have got to make sure that we have got the attack subs that can take out those ballistic missile submarines of the Chinese.
It's incredible. You know, the Hudson Institute has reported that China armed Iran with advanced missiles. Every warhead carries Chinese components. We've reported on this program many times that China sends these components to Iran. The guidance systems, the propellant chemistry. China provided air defense systems to Iran. U.S. and Israeli strikes decimated them. And that China invested $100 billion in Iranian infrastructure. I mean, clearly, China is on the side of Iran with all of this, and then they want to send a Mideast envoy to go condemn the attacks today. How do you see this?
Well, first of all, that envoy is going to try to stop the United States from attacking Iran. And clearly what we should be doing is ignoring this guy. You know, the Chinese are an enemy combatant. That's the way we should treat them. They have been supplying Iran with all the components for their weapons, as you just talked about. Diplomatic support, propaganda support, elevated commodity purchases. Last year, 87.2% of Iran's exports of crude went to China. It's across-the-board support. And so the United States just needs to say, look, we want to stop this. We have to also impose costs on China.
Yeah, so why have we been buying drones from China for so long? I asked the chairman of the Intelligence Committee this yesterday. Rick Crawford was my special guest, and I want to get your take on this. I know at this point, we've stopped buying Chinese drones from DJI, but there are so many of them already in our arsenal. Here's what he told me yesterday. Watch this. Congressman, what about all of those drones right now in our arsenal that China made?
The drone manufacturing has moved so fast. Heck, I've got companies in my district that were engaged in this 10 years ago, but they were outpaced by the Chinese. They wanted to be able to offer these products to American farmers, but they couldn't keep pace because the technology changed so quick, and they were outfunded. And they had to go a different direction with it. So now we're reliant on these Chinese drones. We can't continue with that type of footing.
Do you believe this operation in Iran is as much about China?
It's a very tenuous relationship. I know that they try to characterize this as an affable relationship, and I get it, because that personally they may have an exchange that may be favorable. But broadly speaking, the Chinese Communist Party is not our friend. This attack on Iran was not an attack on China, but it most certainly is an impact on China.
Has had impact already, hasn't it?
Well, it certainly has. You know, China did with drones what it's done with a lot of other things: solar panels, medicines. What they do is they flood the market because they give subsidies to domestic producers. Yeah. That prevents us from developing our manufacturers. So, of course, DJI had 70, 85% of the international drone market because this was predatory policies. We need those tariffs that President Trump has been putting in place because that is an emergency. And I think the Supreme Court got that one wrong.
Yeah, OK. So, and you know, to stop a president from using tariffs in an emergency when we've got emergencies all over the place, like 100,000 people dying of fentanyl every year. But let's talk about what's going on in China this week, because China's annual parliament meeting is beginning today in Beijing. Leaders there are expected to discuss and approve policies which they say will expand China's economy. They've got growth targets on the economy of between 4.5% and 5%. Gordon, is there any way in hell that China's economy is growing 5% right now, in your view?
No, and that's what they reported for last year, 5.0. It was maybe 2.5 if they were lucky. Maybe there was no growth at all. You know, there was a Harvard Kennedy scholar who came back from a tour of China at the end of last year. He reported that the overall unemployment rate in China now is 20%. If you look at
unemployment of 20%
overall, which means that youth unemployment is probably double that. That's inconsistent with the notion of 5.0% growth.
Yeah.
You know, they can say 4.5, 5.0 for this year, but it's probably going to be negative, and especially because China's in a deflationary period. By the way, with all of the problems in the Strait of Hormuz, gas prices in China up 11.0%. Diesel up 13.5%.
Yeah.
And the National Development and Reform Commission is telling refiners, don't export anything and cancel contracts if you can.
Well, it's this indirect message, which I love what President Trump is doing here, because he's always telling us what great friends they are. And at the same time, he's saying, OK, well, you want to, you know, in so many words, you want to hold back critical minerals? Well, maybe you won't get the oil that you need, given the situation at hand. Axios sounding the alarm over the Pentagon's ban on Anthropic, saying that it could hurt America's AI advantage over China. They write this: the international race for AI advantage is not measured in years, but weeks and days. Alienating a leading American AI company and ripping and replacing existing tech could give other countries, especially China, a leg up. Now, Gordon, look, Anthropic, if you want to be a government contractor, you're not going to tell the government how to use your products, right? I mean, so on this issue, I'm not sure I agree with Axios. How do you see it?
Yeah. Well, the other thing, by the way, is that Anthropic is now trying to de-escalate the conflict, and it's now resumed negotiations with the Department of War, which means that probably they will kiss and make up. And that's important, because I would like to make sure that Anthropic and OpenAI, you know, support the Defense Department in the way the Defense Department wants.
Well, I understand that. But the only thing that worried me about the Anthropic statement, and this was really stunning, the CEO of Anthropic had this stunning ways to say that they don't want Claude, its main product, to be used for mass domestic surveillance.
Also, the autonomous firing of weapons. Now, we know the Chinese are using AI for that particular purpose.
Yeah.
So it's important that we be able to use our AI in the ways that the Chinese are. It's just really important.
Well, I think Anthropic needs to explain itself. You can't just say and suggest that the U.S. is doing mass domestic surveillance without explaining yourself.
Right. And all Anthropic is, well, all the Defense Department wants to do is say, look, if it's legal, we can use your AI. And of course that makes common sense.
Right. Gordon, great to get your take on all of this. So fascinating. Thank you. Gordon Chang, stay with us. We'll be right back.